Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Tech Tanks. So this one is, I'm hoping, going to be pretty quick. We're going to set up the DVWA, also known as the Damn Vulnerable Web Application, on our system. This is for the not only the command injection video that I was talking about wanting to make, but this is going to help with a lot of web application pen testing or hacking videos that I'm going to be doing for CEH version 11. So let's go ahead and get this started. I'm hoping we can do this pretty darn quick. First thing we're going to do, open up your browser, only because I don't know the address for this. Just search DVWA, and then it should be the first one that pops up. Go ahead and download it. Now I'm doing this on Ubuntu right now, only because I already have my LAMP server set up on here. You will want to make sure you have Mysql or MariaDB, one or the other, and then you'll need to make sure you have Apache installed on your system for this. Okay, and that's why I'm doing it on this one. Now, if you are using Kali or Parrot, you should already have those downloaded on there. Just so you know, you won't need to set anything up. But if you're doing this on Ubuntu, you can go back and watch my setting up the LAMP server video, and about 95% of that applies to this. There are going to be a couple things that we're going to adjust, but I'll point those out later. Okay, so you should download a zip file, dvwa-master.zip. So I'm going to go ahead and just go straight into my var www directory. And I'm actually going to unzip the folder into here. Let's see here. Oops. Oh man, it's a morning, guys. All right. So for those of you not familiar with Linux, I will be doing some videos in the future just explaining everything I can about Linux. There's a whole lot to it, but if you do not have write permissions into a directory, which this account does not have write permissions here, if you're a sudo user, this will allow you to run things as the root user on the system, which is the administrator basically. Can do pretty much whatever they want. So by doing that, it'll ask for my password. I put it in, verifies that I'm good, and all of a sudden it's going to just go ahead and do whatever I tell it to do. In this case, it made a directory. Perfect. All right, we're going to go ahead and actually I'm going to change the owner of this. So you will want to make sure you have write access to some of these directories. So if you're using Apache, the www-data user is the one that you might want to set this up for. I'm actually going to go ahead and change the ownership to this account, just so I can show you guys a few really useful Linux commands, such as this one. Okay, this is change the owner. This is a variable that basically is whatever user signed in. Put them for the user, put them for the group. So I'm going to go ahead and just do that to my DV. There we go. And then if you look at it now, it's now Cypher as the owner. So now I won't have to worry about using sudo all the time on here. Okay. So we're going to go into the config directory, and we're actually going to notice this is actually still in, but oh, you know what? I did something stupid. I'm sorry. Let me fix this. Okay, so the right way to have done this is to tell it to recursively do this, and that way it will automatically apply to every file and directory underneath this one. So, sorry. Gotta love those mistakes. So now if I list that directory, alright, now I own everything. Perfect. Okay, going into the config directory, again, now I own it. We're going to go ahead and actually copy this, and we're going to keep it in this directory, and we're going to call it the same thing without the .dist part, so config.inc.php. Okay, so now you'll have two files in here. Perfect. Alright, I'm going to pull up another terminal. It's just easier for me, and it's beneficial if you have a hard time memorizing username and passwords that you randomly set up. What we're going to do is set up a Mysql database for this. Oh, try that again. There we go. All right, so you'll see why here in a moment. So we're going to create a database. I'm going to just call this DVW. Yeah, we'll just call it DVW. That's fine. .db or underscore DB. Okay, that's done. I'm going to create a new user. Let's see here. I guess we'll just say DVW master. Why not? They're going to be at the local host. They are identified by my awesome password of pass. Oh, well, I set up restrictions on this. I won't be able to do that. Never mind. We'll just do random. If you set up the LAMP server like I did, then your SQL database requires you to set up a pretty good password. This one actually sucks, but it'll pass. No, it won't. Oh, what did I do? Create user DVW at localhost. So far, so good. Identified by password. Oh, I misspelled create. Love it. Okay. If you're having this many problems, guys, it's probably best to step away and do this later. But we will push through. All right, random password. There we go. All right, now we work. All right, then we're going to grant all privileges on DVW database. Oh, so remember this sets up, or this tells it the database, but you want to make sure any tables or anything you set up inside of that database also transfers over. So this is the we'll accept whatever placeholder. To and then DVW master at localhost. Okay, should work. All right, and then don't forget to flush all of your privileges. This just makes sure everything sets up now. And then we're going to go into that config file, and I'm going to leave this up here so that way I have all that there. I have right permissions, right? Yes, I do. Perfect. All right, so vi config, perfect. All right. So we are only setting up this application to, we're not doing a full setup at this point. We are setting it up basically enough to start using it when it comes time to take advantage of the CAPTCHA. You can see right here for the insecure CAPTCHA. We'll set that part up later. I will put that in with the video where we're actually going to do that part. But right now I just want to make sure we're set up for the basics. So let's see, we got master, and then that super awesome random password. Okay, port should be fine. The other thing you want to do is come over here, and I would switch this to low starting off. Reason we want to do that is just to make sure that you're not making things too difficult for yourself. Right now we're going to just start off with the most basic of, you know, if I type it in, it's going to work. Not I have to capture it in Burp Suite and, you know, edit it after it does the client side checks and all that. So just put it on low. We can easily change this later. And you can actually change it, I believe, on the web application itself. But every time you load it, it will default to low, which I actually always have set up anyway. So, all right, so we're going to go ahead and press the escape key if you're using the Vi editor, if you're not familiar, or Vim editor, if you're not familiar with it. Press the escape key, press the colon, and then WQ for write and quit. Okay, that is all set. Our database is set up. Two more adjustments. One of them I might have already done ahead, but I'll go through it just in case. So we're going to go ahead and just this is the file that I already set up in the LAMP server. So you may have to create a new file, but it's in the etc Apache 2 sites-available. Okay. And then I called it the WordPress configuration file. If you saw my LAMP server video, this should look familiar. If not, hopefully you know what this is. If not, go watch it. All right, so virtual host. We're going to set, basically all this is going to be pretty much the same as before, minus of course the server name. I'm going to call this one lab.dvwa.lab. oh boy, server alias lab.dvwa.lab, server admin. Webmaster does a good job, so we'll just let him keep doing it. Document root. Okay, this is where you need to know whatever you put the directory as. I left it as the default, but I think it's like DVA master or something like that. But I can't remember the whole thing, so we're gonna just go here. No, just DVA-master. There you go. Or DVWA, sorry. Master. And then I'm going to keep my error logs with the defaults. This system is set up for several things, and it works for how I'm wanting to set it up. However, if you're wanting to see these specific logs, I would create a new log for that. When I do this on my paired system or my colleague system, I will probably just set up different logs. Okay. And then close it off. Perfect. And assuming I don't have another typo, this should just restart without issues. Cool. The last thing we need to set up is possibly, I may have already done this part, etc host file. Yeah, I already set it up. Just add your lab.dvwa.lab or whatever you named it to your 127.0.0.1. Okay, if you already have a setup, or if you can get that set up, you're good to go. What that'll allow you to do is just be able to type in lab.dvwa.lab. Oh man, but I'll tell you, if you don't learn to type correctly, it will never work. dvwa.lab. There we go. Okay, so given with the name DVWA, again, if you recall from pulling it up, it's a damn vulnerable web application. They have the best username and password combination. The username is admin, which is a common default, and then the password is password, all lowercase. Boom. All right, a couple more things we're going to adjust here. Then we're going to make sure that we're going to probably just check the Sql injection first, but once we do that, then we'll be good to go. We need to make these folders writable. Now, some of you may be a little confused because it's saying the user, which is you, should have writable access, which by all rights we should if we own it. But remember, Apache 2 is running this, and Apache's users, the www-data, there needs to be writing the ability to write to a directory and files for that user. So we're going to make this a lot easier, and I mean, we're going to just stick with the whole it's vulnerable. So let's go into the hackable, and then we need to make sure that the directory uploads is writable. So I'm going to just do chmod 777. For those of you not familiar with Linux, what this is, chmod changes the permissions, and each one of these permissions is given a numerical value. So read is 4, write is 2, execute is 1. So any combination of that will, so if you do 5 or if you do 6 or if you do 1 or 2 or 7, it gives those permissions. Now the reason why there's 3, the first 3 is for the user, the next 3 is for the group, and then the last 3 is for anybody else. So I'm going to just make this accessible to anyone because, again, it's a damn vulnerable web application. And then we're going to do the same for those other 3. I think one's a file, yeah, one's a file, one's a folder. So let's see, let's go back and then go into the, let's see, external PHP 0 L capital I T P, oops, that's actually the file. All right, there's only one file in here. Now, I don't want to make execute available for this one, and we're going to go ahead and kind of show another combination with our awesome numbers. We're going to do the evil 666. That gives read and write permissions to everybody. Perfect. And then we're going to go to the DVA master directory, which is our home directory, the root directory, and we're going to make the we're going to do the chmod for 777 for the config directory. Perfect. Now if we refresh this, Perfect, perfect. All right, and then go ahead and reset this. Perfect, log in. All right, and once again, should work. Perfect. Now you'll have a whole menu over here. Okay, this is annoying me. So this is going to be all the stuff that we're going to be practicing with. Now, again, this will not work right now, and I'm pretty sure, let me double check, I think there's a couple others that won't work on my system right now. Oh, sorry, right here. Okay. Yeah, so you'll want to make sure that these are on. This is in your PHP INI file, and then you're going to want to restart Apache. It gives you great instructions here. If you are following the defaults, you just installed everything, this one should be on, this one will probably be off. Go back and watch the setting up a LAMP server video if you need help finding where this file is, the PHP INI file, and you can get that changed there. It's off right now and I'm not going to worry about changing it because I want to wrap up this video. I'm going to just real quick click on Sql Injection. So this is kind of how the application works. It's like user ID, submit. Okay, well, this is for Sql Injection. I'm going to go ahead and try doing this. Or 1 equals 1. And then I'm going to go ahead and do this and see if it works like I want. It worked like I wanted. Look at that. I just got the database to show me everybody, the surname, the first name, so on and so forth. So that's what this is for, guys. It basically just allows you to practice different things, and to help you understand it, it gives you the source code. So pretty cool stuff. We'll get into this later. I'm going to wrap this video up. The next thing we're going to be doing is command injection. If you want to follow along, you'll want to make sure you have everything set up the way we have now. This will work as of right now. And in that video, we're also going to be doing a hack the box as well. I'll explain why later. You guys have a good night, morning, whatever you're kind of doing right now. Till next time.